Welcome back to ZNGP today. On a bruising weekend at Assen, Marc Marquez did the unexpected. He converted a fourth-place qualifying into his 9th sprint win of 10 races, all while nursing the after-effects of 2 Friday crashes. Despite not having the outright pace, the 8-time world champion leaned on his defensive genius to fend off younger brother Álex and claim another crucial haul of 12 points. Friday's crashes were behind him, and Saturday's qualifying fourth wasn't ideal. But Álex Márquez turned in another stellar sprint, chasing brother Marc all the way to the flag. Yet his P2 came with a twinge of regret. Despite stellar pace in Assen's flowing third sector, he never quite found the gap to launch a decisive attack. Here's what Álex really thought as he crossed the line just behind the championship leader. Assen's cold sprint cut short a promising day for Marquez Bagnaia. After missing pole by 0.028s and posting the best FP2 race pace, the Italian fell victim to his perennial first lap sprint woes, dropping to P5 despite clear speed advantage. Here's the full story behind his frustration, and why Sunday's feature remains his real opportunity. Fabio Quartararo secured his 4th pole of 2025 at Assen, yet the sprint brought a bitter twist, a crash from 4th with 4 laps remaining, compounded by a tire gamble and a chronic power deficit. Behind his measured press comments lies frustration at a weekend of flashes without the final breakthrough. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Marquez didn't set the quickest laps, yet he turned that disadvantage into a defensive fortress. Today I took 12 unexpected points. Because I wasn't the fastest on the track, but we knew how to position ourselves well at the start, and then defend ourselves. From the lights, Marquez launched with surgical precision, leapfrogging Álex and Bagnaia into turn 1. Once ahead, his lines became ironclad. Any move under braking was repelled, any attack in the fast sectors nullified by his perfect exit velocity. Knowing he'd struggle to outdrag his rivals on raw speed, Marquez made his explosive launch the cornerstone of strategy. It was a very good start. I was particularly focused because I knew that the result depended on it. In a sprint where mere tenths defined podium order, that first lap leap created a gap impossible to erase. From there, Marquez dictated the rhythm, forcing challengers to overcommit and fail. Assen offers limited heavy braking zones, but Marquez exploited every one he got, leaning on a setup built around late stops. I have a setup, a bike made for braking. Here there are few of them, but I knew it would be difficult for them to pass me under braking. While Álex shone in Assen's flowing third sector, Marquez transformed turns 6 and 16 into no-go zones. By controlling his entry speed and maximizing front grip, he turned his setup weakness into an unassailable edge. Riding through Friday's heavy crashes left Marquez wary of pushing too hard in qualifying, yet he balanced caution with ambition. From the first minute, I understood that my body would not be able to accept another fall. In qualifying I was a bit complacent when I saw the 1:30.8. Managing pain and bruises, Marquez opted to secure a safe 4th rather than chase Q2 glory. That measured choice paid off handsomely when the sprint's first lap unfolded in his favor. In a rare candid moment, Marquez highlighted where he must still find gains, while also reminding fans how his strengths offset those deficits. Álex has the best third sector on the Ducati, I'm the worst. And my strongest points are his weakest. It's that complementary battle, Marquez's brake-to-apex artistry versus Álex's fluid acceleration, that elevates their sibling rivalry. This time, the brakes won the day. Assen's Cathedral may not have been built for Marc Marquez, yet he turned its hallways into his personal stronghold. By marrying a pinpoint start, brake-centric setup, and strategic caution, he grabbed another sprint triumph against the odds. As the main race looms, expect more of the same wizardry, where speed falters, Marquez's mind, and his brakes, take over. Álex arrived knowing he had the speed to challenge, but track position is king at Assen, and he couldn't force his way through until it was too late. We had a good race. I was faster in T3, but I couldn't pass him. They're very fast corners, and with the same bike it's very difficult to find a gap. Alex's statement. Despite outpacing Marc by a few tenths in the high-speed final sector, Álex was hemmed in by the number 93's defensive lines and the RSGP's winged aerodynamics, which make late dives razor-thin propositions. In a short sprint, the opening lap can seal your fate. Álex admitted his launch off the line cost him precious tenths that he chased all race. I made the difference in the first corner. I let Marc take the lead and I lost my chance. With barely 12 laps on the clock, any hesitation at turn 1 is amplified. Once Marc slipped ahead under braking, Alex's only option was a drag race-style pursuit, one that left little room for the overtaking moves he'd planned. Comparing today's carbon-winged machines to the unclipped fairings of old, Álex lamented how aero stability has reshaped overtaking dynamics. With these bikes and the wings, it's very difficult to attack. A few years ago, with the old bikes, it was a different story. Modern MotoGP prototypes favor slipstreaming and corner exit speed over late braking ambushes. At Assen, where smooth transitions rule, Álex found that even superior sector times weren't enough to slice past. Though Sunday's 26-lap marathon demands a different approach, Álex sees Friday's tire management and Saturday's sector data as vital clues. We got good information for tomorrow's race. We'll have to be more careful with the tire in the third sector. Armed with insights on soft compound wear and sector-specific grip loss, the Gresini squad can refine pressures, camber, and electronics maps, key to sustaining pace over twice the distance. While others gambled on used boots after Friday crashes, Álex deliberately saved a fresh soft for Sunday's opening run, an ace up his sleeve. Whoever started with a used tire today. I used 4 softs, and we have a new one for the race. I don't know what the others are like. In a weekend of shifting temperatures, tire life will make or break strategies. By prioritizing a pristine front, Álex ensures his first stint can match Marc's defensive edge, crucial if he wants to flip the script. P2 in the sprint isn't a bad day's work, but for Álex Márquez, it feels like a missed opportunity. Armed with fresh rubber, sector-by-sector analysis, and that coveted start line data, his focus now turns to the 26-lap feature. If he masters his launch and manages tire degradation, perhaps Assen will finally witness the younger Marquez cracking his brother's fortress and turning frustration into triumph. Bagnaia's Assen script, strong practice, front row start, early fade, played out to perfection in reverse. It was my classic sprint, unfortunately. For the first time I'm complaining more about the sprint than about my feeling, so it's a step forward, Bagnaia said. Recognizing incremental progress, shifting focus from bike field to sprint execution, Bagnaia hinted that beating the clock is replacing merely managing grip as his primary concern. Despite matching or trumping rivals, decisive, Quartararo, Bezzecchi, even the Marquez brothers, Bagnaia couldn't find a way past start-line choreography. Today I saw I was faster, but I don't have the possibility to put myself there and have a chance. In the truncated sprint, any small surge or hesitation at T1, T2 proves fatal. Bagnaia's pace edge evaporated under Racecraft bottlenecks, showing raw speed alone isn't enough in MotoGP's shootouts. Comparing Saturday's sprint to Sunday's potential, Bagnaia pinpointed a stark difference in bike behavior under load. On Saturday, when I braked at turn 1 and turn 9, the bike really moved a lot. On Sunday I can brake harder, because the bike is more stable. The long race setup grants stability and rear traction, areas where Bagnaia flourishes, but the sprint's aggressive front-end demands exposed lingering chassis instability and grip deficits. 9 races in, Bagnaia admits one perennial limitation remains locked in by regulations or design. There's a technical detail that has limited me for 3 years and we can't improve. It's as if it lacks weight at the back. Bound by homologation rules, Ducati cannot alter certain engine or chassis traits. Bagnaia feels this inherent trait saps rear grip, forcing him to compensate. Yet over a short sprint, the compromise is unforgiving. Bagnaia knows the million-dollar question: could a perfect start have rewritten the result? You can't know, but the pace to go fast was there. Everything was set up to have a great race. The hypothetical underscores MotoGP's cruel margins. One man's hesitation is another's trophy. For Bagnaia, the value lies in validating that the Desma set-aside can truly run at the front, if only circumstances align. Despite sprint setbacks, Bagnaia senses Assen's long race as his season's best shot to score top points. I'm in a technical situation where I can't think of winning a race, but I have to fight to try. If there is a chance, this is the most important one since the beginning of the year. Over 26 laps, tire management and braking stability return to the fore, strengths that suit Bagnaia's smooth style. With fresh data from Saturday, Ducati can tweak settings to enhance his corner entry confidence. Assen's sprint may have replayed Bagnaia's worst fears, but it also laid bare the raw pace his rivals envy. Now, the real battle begins on Sunday, where stability, strategy, and a strong start can flip a disappointing P5 into a season-defining result. For Pecco, the podium at the Cathedral remains within reach, if only he can unlock the secret of his classic sprint. Pushing at 100% on a used front tire and chasing down Ducati's under braking proved costly when Quartararo lost the front at turn 10. I'm fine. But pushing to the limit in every corner, mistakes happen, Quartararo said. After dominating Saturday's qualifying, the Yamaha rider conceded that the combination of worn rubber and relentless braking demands left little margin, turning his charge into a heavy landing. Quartararo was one of 6 riders to start on a previously run soft front, hoping to preserve his allocation for the feature race. We started with a used front tire. When one is new and the other is used, it's a little bit strange at the beginning. The decision aimed at balancing Friday's heavy tire usage but backfired in the sprint's short format, denying him the front-end stability to withstand late braking assaults. Against the top Ducatis, Yamaha's power unit deficit remains stark, forcing Quartararo to overwork brakes and electronics to keep pace. We know where the problem is. We lack a lot of power to keep up. There are many things where we are not up to par. With traction, anti-wheelie control, and peak horsepower all trailing Ducati, Quartararo's fight is as much about engine spec as it is racecraft, fighting ghosts on every straight. The true agony lies in the overtaking drought. Unless Quartararo starts on the front row, the fight ends before it begins. We catch them and they go away. Since the beginning of the year I haven't passed anyone. In a sprint of 10 laps, if he isn't ahead at turn 1, Quartararo's only path is undercut moves he can no longer execute, a stark contrast to his aggressive style on Yamaha's race-winning days. With double the laps on Sunday, Quartararo doesn't foresee miracles but plans to maximize what he has. I don't expect anything spectacular, just to get the best possible result. It's complicated, but we'll definitely get the best out of it. The longer race will play to Yamaha's endurance strengths and tire conservation strategies. Quartararo's hope lies in consistency rather than sudden leaps, an admission of the uphill battle he faces. Assen's sprint underlined Yamaha's uphill charge, stunning qualifying pace, strategic tire plays, yet no way through without power parity. Quartararo's blunt confession of an overtaking drought signals a pivotal weekend. Can the feature race offer the overtaking window he craves? Or will Assen cement a year spent chasing ghosts on the straights? Only Sunday will tell. Thanks for watching ZNGP today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!